ourselves in that angle. There are people out there, whether they work for a whole year or not, they will still make money. Nothing will change. So let us not make money number one. Amen. While waiting for the next move, find out if you have the requisite skills that the job market is requiring. If you don't have the skills, you have to go through trainings that will equip you with the right skills that the jobs demand. You need to find out while you are waiting for the next move. Level 100s, level 200s, level 300s, you are all part. No one gets to the top within a twinkling of an eye. So if you are aiming to be in a certain position, the preparations, everything starts now. Like I said earlier on, you can't get to a position that you are not prepared for. So you are not isolated, level 100s, the continuous student, you are not isolated. Amen. So how do you know if you have the skills? How do you find out? You need to read about the market trends. You need to have knowledge of what is going on in your career field. What are the requirements? If I want to be a procurement officer, what are the requirements? What are they searching for in someone who wants to be a procurement aside the degree that I have? So you need to read and have knowledge of the market trends to find out if you have the skills that are demanded or not. Amen. While waiting for the next move, you also need to have a CV. You need to have a CV, very, very important. There is no job you apply for without a requirement of a CV. CVs are the first forms of contact between you and the one that you want to work with. The CV represents you before the employers. So you need to have a CV. If you don't have one, you need to write one. You need to start preparing. You need to find out how is a professional CV like. I am sure some people even don't know the full meaning of CV. I was talking with a colleague, a friend of mine last time. She is a trained teacher. She doesn't know the full meaning of CV. And it's not her fault. Right after college, no requirement of CV, she was posted. So a CV is curriculum vitae. That's the full meaning. I won't spell it. You go and find out how to spell it. So you need to effectively prepare your CV to truly highlight your skills. Sometimes you are the most qualified person for a particular job position, but you are not able to represent yourself well on your CV. So that job will pass you by. So this is not a time to sleep at all. This is not a time to chase after money at all. This is a time to build ourselves. This is a time to invest in ourselves. It will be better for us to have all the requisite skills and then there are no jobs than for us not to have the skills while the jobs are there. Imagine being in an organization and one day your supervisor hands over a carton to you, about 500 CVs that you should go through a short list, just 6 people who will be interviewed for one person to be selected for a particular job position. What will you do? How will you handle that task? I'm trying to let you know how important it is for you to have a CV. That is from somebody who is on the field, those who do interviews, those who go through CVs. That is the experience he's sharing with us. How will you handle it? So if I take your CV, I have 500 CVs, and I have only that day. Some people may have 3 or 4 pages. If I read the first line, it doesn't make much sense to me. I'll throw it away, and I'll look at the next one. If the next one, the English is, if I don't understand what you are trying to communicate, away. Yes, that is what they do. You have about 500, you need only 6 of them. So it can even happen that he may choose them randomly. Okay, I'll count that. If I pick a handful, the last 3 are the ones I'll select. And then the rest, the bottom 3 is the one I will select again. That is all. So the CV is very, very important. You need to research about how to write a professional CV, what to include in it and what not to include in it, how to organize your statements, how to properly communicate your competencies on your CV. While waiting for the next move, there is another important thing you have to do. That is to learn about attending an interview. Attending an interview. You need to learn about it whilst preparing for the job market. And thankfully, there was a program with those of us who are regular in Bible studies. There was a talk here by Dr. Michael Sube on attending an interview. That is why I said it's only in AGCM that you hear these things. Lecture halls, you are in level 400. Have you ever done a course on interview or CV? That the whole semester, when you go for a lecture that day in the week, they will teach you about CV. No. But they are very important. So that's why AGCM is the best. Monica. So don't miss Bible studies for anything. It's very important. Some of these things, after school, you realize that you attend seminars where you have to pay before they will teach you all these things. How to write your CV, you need to pay for the service of a professional. But you are getting all of them here free of charge because of our visionary father. He knows that we need all these things. He's a responsible father. So you know that we need all these things. So, about an interview, you need to research about the organization that you want to work with. You need to research about them, have enough knowledge about them. And show up on time. You should also look sharp when attending an interview. And be confident and market yourself during an interview. While waiting for the next move, it is also very important for you to improve upon your computer skills, your IT skills. Very, very important. How well do you know how to use the computer? You realize that in our days now, almost everything is done by the use of the computer. So if you are not abreast with the use of the computer, then you are not fit for the job market. So this is the time for you to build upon those skills. This is the time you need to learn how to use certain softwares. Microsoft Word and Excel, you need to know how to use them. They are very important in every organization. Definitely a time will come that you will write something and no one is interested in your handwriting to see how beautiful it is. It is very important. So you find people in certain positions, they have a computer in front of them, yet they'll be struggling with certain things. You know, things are always changing. Things are always changing. So what you know about computer today wouldn't be the same thing few years to come. That is why you always need to keep abreast with the changes. And some of these things can land you a job when you know how to use certain softwares very well, like the Microsoft Excel. When you are very excellent in the use of Microsoft Excel, you'll be a hot cake on the market. Thankfully, we are in the era of technology. How you can build yourself is very, very easy. How you can build your IT skills, very easy. Go online. When you go online, the training sessions are there. Some are free. By the time you're even done with the free ones, you will learn a lot of things. Most employers want you to perform basic tasks such as searching for information and writing emails. So you need to learn about how to use certain softwares like I already mentioned, like emails. When was the last time you sent an email to someone? You need to learn how to attach a document in an email. You need to learn it. In some contexts, being able to use social media is among the essential skills that you need to succeed at your job and eventually earn a higher position. As a result of something little you teach somebody, that person will recommend you for a higher position or for a job. So anytime you look at, let me teach you one strategy, how you can sharpen your computer skills. Anytime you look at a document, books, anytime you look at how things are arranged in it, ask yourself whether you can organize things in that manner. Sometimes you see that there are 3 columns. Things are written in columns. How the Bible is written. Can you organize things like that? Learn it. You don't know when you need it. It is not when you need it that you will be finding out how to use it. That will make you inefficient. So it's not only about the certain social media software that you need to know. Not about posting pictures here and there. That is not all. Use those times to build your IT skills. Not when you get an interview and then the requirement is that the interview will be conducted online. So you are supposed to use Zoom. Now you are hot. You are hot, and then you are sitting in front of the computer or your phone using it as the Zoom. Interviewers have asked you a question. Now respond. Your mic is mute, and you are talking. Interviewers will go ahead to ask you, sir, can you unmute your mic so that we can hear you? You are only hearing them, but then they can't hear you. You don't know where the mic is. Even the question they asked you, you are thinking of how to answer it. Now, how to unmute your mic has become another problem. You will realize that they will just cut the interview very short. And then later you will be sending them a message that it's because of your network. You don't know how to use it. So even if You are not going to use it, know how to use it. COVID has made people to develop their IT skills a lot. So that time, once your IT skills are not sharp, you are sure to lose your job. So let us equip ourselves with the skills that are needed in computer. Amen. Another important thing that we need to do while waiting for the next move is networking. Networking. You need to build a relationship with other professionals, both in your career and other related fields. Now, most of the people who get employment, it's as a result of recommendation. Somebody has recommended them, and that is what happens in an organization. Before they will put a job vacancy out in a newspaper or online, they might have talked to the staff whether they know somebody that can do that, can occupy that position before they go ahead to do that. When they advertise in the newspapers, it costs them. So when they meet somebody in the organization who can recommend someone to fill that position, then they are going to cut down costs. So you need to build professional network with people in your fields and other related fields. They shouldn't just know you. That, okay, he's my friend. When we were in school, we have been going to the beach together, and that is all. No. Networking goes beyond that. You need to build the relationship with them in a way that they know or they have knowledge and they believe that you have certain skills in you. Not just creating contact with them, level 400, so you are taking numbers, so that if anything per year, then. No. Let your friends know what you can do. Expose your skills and competencies to them. So that when your friends recommend you and they ask him or her, why do you think we should take the person you are recommending? They should be able to say that you can do this and that. When you were in school, you were able to handle this. You were the one who type our assignment and do all these things. So you believe that he can handle this position of an administrator. Not that, oh, when we were in school, we are very good friends. We do everything together. We are like brothers. That is not networking. You will even expose yourself in the workplace that they will start thinking, maybe it seems you are also not a very competent person. We are good friends, and now we have all completed school. And by the grace of God, I have gotten a job. But he is unemployed currently. That is why I want you to take it. No. Your friends should know. So let them know that you can do this, you can do that. That is networking. While waiting for the next move, you should also be ready to accept days of humble beginning. Be ready to accept days of humble beginning. No one gets to the top within a day. If you are aiming to be a finance officer one day, you don't get there within months after completing school. Even after doing your master's, it doesn't mean that you should get that job. Be ready to accept days of humble beginning. If you talk to people who have completed school and they don't have any job to do, if they tell you the kind of thing they are ready to do, you will be surprised. Because of the frustrations in the job market, they are ready to do any work at all. It doesn't matter. They have degree and so what? They are ready to do anything. So be ready to accept days of humble beginning. It's very important. If not, there will be a lot of job vacancies calling you, but you are feeling too big. A whole first-class student. For your information, first-class students are still there without jobs to do. So you second-class uppers, a whole second-class upper, I should come and be doing this casual work. No. So be ready to accept days of humble beginning. So those are the things that you can do while waiting for the next move. I would also like us to consider these 3 costs of success in the job market that you have to pay. To every success story, there is a price that has to be paid. If you want to be successful in the job market, you will need to pay some cost. You need to sacrifice. Spiritual cost. You need to pay for spiritual cost in order to be successful in the job market. Don't be deceived by anyone that the job market and spiritual life have nothing in common. So you need to do what you should do by all means possible to get a job. No. The fact that you are not getting anything to do doesn't mean that you should compromise your Christian values. But sometimes there's frustrations are so much that some Christians forget they are Christians and they start to help God. That this one there, it is the job market. God, you understand. Where we are average now there, I have siblings that I need to, they are looking up to me. So I have to do something. You need to always remember that you are a spiritual man in the job market. So you need to be connected to your spiritual roots to keep bearing fruits. You don't listen to what others are saying in the job market. It will surprise you that these people who are telling you things are difficult, they may not have the required skills. Instead of them to spend time building themselves, they would rather go polluting fresh graduates. That you are welcome. This is what is happening. We have the degree, but nothing is moving. So you have to do this. If you are ready to do it, I can show you the way. I've stayed home for 10 years. This is what I did, and I landed a job. So you need to pay this amount of money. No. You need to always remember that you are a Christian. And frustrations shouldn't be the reason you compromise your Christian value. You need to pray. You need to declare the promises of God upon your life. God has seen you through basic school. If God knows that after school you are not going to land a job, then why did He even permit you to have come this far? You need to think of it. God cannot bring you this far just to leave you that I've done enough for you, so just you to stay there. No. He has more for you. He has more waiting for you. He has more than what you can even think and imagine. Is that not what the Bible says? So you need to spend time and pray rather than talking to people that the job market, nothing. Spend those time and pray. Spend those times and pray. Because every prayer you are praying now, they are being stored up in heaven for your needs tomorrow. There is no prayer which is a waste. If you are praying today that you want to be the wife of a president, it doesn't mean that once, for now, you are too young to pray that prayer. It starts now. If you want to be a president of the country one day, the prayer starts now. So rather than saying all manner of things, you need to spend time in prayer. You need to spend time with God so that He will direct your steps. There are you will encounter a lot of things in the job market. So you need to always stay connected with God, your relationship with God. This is the time that you need God the most. Not the time that because of the frustrations, every church cry, you wouldn't go again. You are looking for jobs, so you will not go to church again. No. This is the time you need to be more active. That God direct me. It is your name that is at stake. You need to pray for His guidance on what steps to take at any given time, because every divinely guided decision, as far as the job market is concerned, is sure to yield maximum and favorable results. So you need to stay connected to God, even in the job market. Amen. The other cost is intellectual cost. Intellectual cost. Knowledge is power. The Bible says in Isaiah chapter 5 verse 13 that my people have gone into captivity because they don't have knowledge. You have reached level 400 now. How competent are you in the course that you are reading? Your level of mastery in the course you are reading. You need to assess yourself. If you think, even though you are doing this course, what you have learned is not enough to say that someone is doing that course, that is the time to back up. You need to take your studies very seriously. The more enlightened we are on any subject matter, the greater the level of command we gain. So if you don't know the course you are doing or the program you are reading very well, when people are arguing on subjects relating to your field, what are you going to do? When they ask you, what do you also think? Oh, I agree with you. When they also ask you, oh, I agree with you. So we need to study very, very, very hard. We need to study very hard. We need to study hard so that in the job market, when you get to an interview, you have more information to provide than what the interviewers will even ask you. You have idea about everything that the interviewers will ask you. Intellectual cost. Access to quality information is what guarantees your success in the job market. Those who are in business, confidentiality is a key thing that businesses use in surviving. How you are doing well, if your competitor gets to know, definitely he will overtake you. That means they have access to a quality information. So access to quality information is what guarantees success. We need to read books. We are building ourselves intellectually. We need to read books relating to your career field. If you want to become a businessman or a woman, you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to invest in books. Buy books. Read about businessmen, how they made it. The last cost is physical cost. After you have prayed, after you have studied hard, you need to go out there. You need to go out. You don't sit in a corner of your room that I believe I'll become the president one day. No. You need to go out there. You don't sit in a corner and be praying all kinds of tongues. that you know that by all means, God will do it. Whether God does it or not, you are still praying. You need to go out there. If you don't go out there, what will God do? Will God bring the employers to you in your room? That's okay, we have a job, so come and do it. No, you need to go out there. You don't need to entertain laziness. You read one line in your book and then you are tired. You are tired. Monday to Friday, you are tired. Every little thing, you are tired. No, success doesn't come that way. You need to be ready to go the extra mile. You need to stretch yourself. Remember I said that the job market is very, very difficult. So anyone who will want to enter in this to get some tough skin, to keep pushing until you penetrate. So the time that you think you are tired, that is the time you are getting closer to something valuable. Don't get me wrong, it is important for us to rest. So we need to pay this cost as well. Now let's look at few things to consider when looking for a job. How to search for a job. How to search for a job. 1, forget your education, forget your skills, and rely on God. Don't believe so much in your degrees and your qualifications that you neglect God. You know that with this case, there no employer will resist me. No, you need to rely on God. Number 2, have a professional CV. We have already spoken about it. When you're searching for a job, you need to have a professional CV. And networking. You need to network. Remember, you are searching for a job, and then they have invited a lot of applications. So what is on your CV that those who are shortlisting will look at and say that this person, I need to meet him. I need to meet this person. This kind of things he has stated, I am interested. I want to know this person more. You need to also visit the website of the organizations you want to work for. There are job vacancies in newspapers. So follow the organizations on social media so that you have enough knowledge about them. If there is any vacancy, you will be able to know. Then volunteer your service and time. Volunteer your service and time. After school, if you are temporarily not doing anything, because I know definitely we all do something. So if you are temporarily not doing anything, volunteer your service. Go to an organization. Can I work with you? I just want to work, not that I need any. Can I work with you? And this will only be possible if you don't make money, number 1. And you know what that does? You are gathering experience. You are acquiring skills that will enrich your CV. And moreover, whilst you are volunteering your service and there is an opening in the organization, you are going to save them from advertising in the newspapers and all that. They will just engage your services immediately. Surround yourself also with positive people when you are searching for a job. Surround yourself with positive people. Your friends can recommend you to get a job. You also need to know that because of your friend, you will be unemployed for a very long time, depending on the company of friends you keep. Some people are very bad. I was watching the video. The guy completed school with a friend, and then he was working. So the friend was staying with him at home, doing the washing plates, cooking, and all that. So there was a time that a position became vacant in the organization. So the supervisor called him that if you know of somebody who can fill that position, then you bring the person. He said, okay, he will go and look for somebody. Immediately I heard that, and I know that the guy doesn't have a good intention. He will go and look for somebody. How? Once you know that your friend is at home. So he told him he will go and look for somebody. If he gets somebody, he will let him know. So he got home. That same day, the friend asked him, so up till now, is there not any vacancy in the organization? He said, things are really hard. There is no job position. There is no vacancy. But if there is a vacancy, they are friends, they are parties. So he will by all means link him up. The supervisor one day came home to visit them. Luckily, this guy who was working wasn't around. And then the supervisor met the one who wasn't working. So they interacted, and he said that the other person working with him is his friend. They all completed with the same qualifications, but he roamed, nothing. So he's squatting with him for now, believing that he will get something. Even upon all this, when the supervisor met him at the workplace and asked him, your friend is there, why not bring him? He said, it is not that he doesn't want to recommend him, but the hand disturbed him. Nisa hand. Nisa hand. How can you say this about your own friend? That is why the kind of relation he has with him, he doesn't want to bring anyone to distort things between them. That is why he doesn't want to recommend his friend. And then when he came home, the friend also narrated that the boss came here that there is a position. He told the friend that the kind of pay they are giving them is not good. That is why he's not recommending him. Somebody you call your friend. So your friends can get you a job, and your friends can be the reason you're not getting a job. So know the kind of persons you associate yourselves with. And lastly, you need to have a professional mentor, somebody who will guide you. That do it this way. There may be a time you will learn about 3 jobs or 2 jobs. You will not know which one to accept. Your professional mentor can guide you. Okay, looking at what you want to do, looking at the years ahead, looking at the nature of this one, then he's talking out of experience. He will guide you to which one to accept. So we need to invest in ourselves. If we want to make it in the job market, we need to invest in ourselves. It is not easy out there, but it doesn't mean that because it is not easy, it won't be easy for God too. That is why we need to keep trusting in Him. Let us keep declaring the positive things into our future. Our mouth is not meant for just eating meat pie and drinking sobolo. You need to speak positive things into your life. What you want to become, you need to speak it now. And it is my prayer that we will all go out there and do exploits because we put our trust in God. Thank you.